Anybody who knows me knows that I think the Vita is one of the best places for gaming. And it hurt my soul to do this, but I narrowed it down to my top 5 favorite Vita games. Welcome to Press X. Freedom Wars is a monster hunting game, where the act of being alive is a crime. You start with a million-year sentence, and you have to work it down by doing tasks for the government, such as defeating colossal monsters and rescuing citizens. You do so with the help of 3 weapons: a ranged weapon, a melee weapon, and your thorn, a lasso-style weapon that's used to pull the enemy's feet out from underneath them and send them crashing to the ground, or used to scale on top of them, sever off their body parts, and collect them to upgrade your weapons. The more time you get taken off your sentence, the more freedoms you have. The ability to walk, the ability to run, the ability to get away from an AI companion that's a big brother type scenario that'll keep watch and tabs on you. With a 4-player cooperative multiplayer, a competitive multiplayer, tons of variety of monsters to fight, and weapons to upgrade, Freedom Wars is worth your time. Metrico is perhaps the most underrated PlayStation Vita game. When I want to show somebody why the PlayStation Vita is so unique, this is one of the games that I turn to. It's a puzzle platformer. You're trying to get from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. But how is the trick? You experiment by pressing the buttons on the Vita, see what it does to the level. Then you try walking. You walk backwards, you jump backwards, you use the touchpad. It uses every feature of the Vita. You then use your newfound knowledge about what everything does to figure out how to get your character from the left to the right. It's simple in premise, but each puzzle is different and adds a twist, as well as adding new buttons and different controls. The game's also perfect for handheld experiences, and that's why it's great on the Vita. Do you only have time to complete 1 or 2 puzzles? You can do that. Do you want to sit down and play through the whole game? You can do that too, without the sacrifice of the experience. Metrico is a hidden gem in the PlayStation Vita's library and a fantastic exclusive Vita game. Danganronpa 1 and 2 are murder mystery games. The premise is simple. You're a student. You wake up in a school filled with other students, and you have no clue how you got there, and you can't get out. You're told that the only way to get out is to kill a fellow student and get away with it. And thus, we have the Danganronpa series. Once the bodies start dropping is where Danganronpa gets interesting. Searching for clues throughout the school, and using them as evidence in the class trials to figure out who the murderer was. This is a dark and twisted, story-driven game for the PlayStation Vita, done in 2.5D, with a graphic novel style feel. And once you finish Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, you can play its sequel, Danganronpa Goodbye Despair. It's just as good as the original, if not better, and you owe it to yourself to try these games out. And if you just can't get enough Danganronpa, there's another one coming this September, a spin-off, Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls. Persona 4 Golden is reason enough to own a PlayStation Vita, and it's most people's favorite game on the console, and considered to be the best. And I wouldn't argue with them. It is definitely one of the best titles for the PlayStation Vita. You'll spend time meeting new friends, going to school, fighting bosses, exploring dungeons, and leveling up personas. Persona 4 Golden has something for everyone, for those who are new to the genre, and for those who have played dozens of them. And while it's technically the 4th installment in the series, you don't need any prior knowledge of the other games to enjoy this one. There's a reason so many people love the Persona franchise, and this is possibly the best installment in it. And my favorite game on the PlayStation Vita? Gravity Rush. I went to the store thinking I was going to pick up a 3DS. There was a stand there with a Vita with Gravity Rush loaded on it, and I decided to play it. I left the store with a PlayStation Vita and a copy of Gravity Rush. You spend your time playing as Kat, a girl who wakes up with mysterious gravity powers. She can shift gravity and fall, not fly, to different destinations, and she uses this to fight the evil Na'vi that have taken over her town. I spent hours falling through the world, completing challenges, and hearing the superhero origin story of Kat. She's shunned by many of the fellow citizens of the town. It's a fantastic underdog story, with a sprinkle of science on top. This game always felt so grand for its small home, and I can recommend it to anyone who's a fan of superhero origins, comics, or just fantastic video games in general. But that's not all. Check out Little Big Planet, Killzone, Tearaway, and Uncharted Golden Abyss. The Vita is ripe with great games, and these 5 are just the tip of the iceberg. So what game franchises would you like to see brought to the little screen? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, like, share, and subscribe. I'm Kevin McManus, and I'll speak with you soon.